But honestly, this last thing, it's the most important. I've realized what I give away, I get to keep. See, the truth is I battle with self-esteem, self-worth, and self-value. Honest question, a moment of absolute transparency. How many of you in here, if you were real with me, do you sometimes struggle with self-worth, self-value, or self-esteem? Raise your hand. Anybody? Yep, now watch this. Here's the truth, right? Man, when we look in the mirror, we don't like sometimes what we see. And so when we come to school, it's always nice when other people say, I believe in you, or I see you, or you're not alone. That feels good, right? And truthfully, I got to a place because I had such low self-esteem and self-worth. I wanted to feel like I mattered and I had purpose. And so unintentionally, I found myself hunting and living from a place where I was looking for words of affirmation everywhere I went subconsciously. And people would say, I see you, you're not alone, I believe in you, and that would feel good. But when I would go home and I would look in the mirror, I didn't feel the way that they said that about me. How many of you in here, honestly, have you had people that would encourage you and they would say that cliche, but they mean it thing, you know, and you go home and even though that was nice, but you look in the mirror, you don't feel that way. Anybody in here? And see, I've learned what I give away is what I get to keep. See, life is this boomerang thing. I've realized that I can never take my worth and take my value. But what I couldn't get by people telling me that they love me and I'm not alone and they see me and I didn't even know, but I became somebody that was seeking out daily these words of affirmation, and it was exhausting because even though people would tell me they believed in me and they loved me, in the morning when I look in the mirror, I still feel just as empty, and this vicious cycle went over and over. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Does anybody relate to that? Would you raise your hand if that's you, right? Like this cycle. Hear me. I realize what I give away is what I get to keep. When I began this journey and I faced the thing that I was the most afraid of, me, and I was vulnerable and transparent, and I realized that my story and my conversation with the people around me mattered, and I was willing to throw something against the wall and to have a dream and to not take my focus off all my insecurities and all my shortcomings, but say, I'm going to do the next right thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to keep moving forward. But then I realized random acts of kindness, when I got involved with serving people, when I got involved of having awareness, of having empathy, and saying, I can tell you're having a hard day today. I'm going to slow my life down. I want to hear your heart. What's going on? I see you in class, or we hang out and we're friends, and I know you're battling. And I began to create experiences where I'm giving out value. I'm giving out care. I'm being somebody that's getting involved with community service or a club or helping the community clean up or just serving people. You know what would happen? What I couldn't get by you telling me I was special and I was important, and I thank you for that. But when I would go home and I would look in the mirror, I didn't feel that way. But when I started doing random acts of kindness and listening and adding value to people, when I would walk away from our conversation or I would leave serving your program or your community event, I knew by experience my life just added worth to that moment. And subconsciously, real self-esteem, real self-worth, real self-value was ignited. If you struggle, I'm telling you, take your eyes off and go start serving and helping and getting involved with other people. It changes everything. Life